continuing the part 2 of the CRUD operations for the users. Okay, so we have update user here. It has been done. What we can do is we can basically copy everything here in the services, and then once they're copied, I can paste them here. Okay, and then I can just change this to delete user. You can just change this to delete user, taking in user ID and update data. Not necessarily, we're going to take out the update data, and then over here we're going to clean this out. And then with a try catch block over here, what are we going to do? We are basically going to clean this out. I'm going to clean this, okay, and then I would format this in a very nice way, okay. Then over here I'm going to say find by ID and delete. Okay, so we pass in the user ID and it returns the user back. Okay, we can say it should return, it can return the user back to us, and also the user that deleted, right? And also a message, so we can set up that message inside the user controller. So I can take this, I can copy this, okay, I can copy this, and then I don't think we should. Let me go back to the service, and then I'll take this out of it, because I don't think it's necessary like that, because if you're deleting, right? So let's not return anything. Then after it is done, we send a response inside the controller. So I'll say that over here that we have, so I'll say error occurred deleting the user, right? Error occurred deleting the user. Okay, and then over here we can say, we can clear this side. We can clear this. Okay, let's not. Okay, we can clear this, right? Then we can await. We can simply await and then delete the user. You can delete the user, and then we pass in the inside here. We have to pass in request.params .id, which is obviously going to be the user's ID. So it passes through here and then comes and gets deleted, and then if there's an error, it throws us back that error. Okay, and then we can say that the account has been deleted successfully. Okay, then we can take this off, we can take this out. All right, then what else? So delete, you can say delete user controller. Okay, then you can go into the user route here, and then you can copy this, come here and then paste that, and then over here we set that to delete. Okay, and then we can say what, delete user controller. Okay, so now that we have this set up, we can test it for ourselves. And then I'm going to open this. Okay, I'm trying to open it. Okay, so that we can test it, right? So we have, so basically we have user. We let me save this. I'm basically going to save this, and then I am okay, so you can see put here, so I can just create a new request, and then inside the request I can rename it as delete user. Okay, so after delete user, then I can set this to delete. Then I can set the base URL to users, and then if I look inside the route here, I can see that this section is going to take in the user ID, right? So I'm going to go into the database, and then we're going to go into YT social app. I'm going to go to the users section here, and then I'm going to pick out this user ID. Okay, then inside here I'm going to replace it with this. Okay, so now that we have that, there's nothing we're going to pass into the body, everything we're passing in here, so we should be able to receive that message, right? But before we do any of that, we have not cd'd into server, and then we have not started our server. So I'm going to do my npm start, and the server would be running very soon. Okay. Okay, so it has been connected. I'm going to postman, and then I'm going to send. Okay, so the account has been deleted successfully. If I go and then I refresh, we should, wait, what? Let's try this one more time. I'm picking up this ID, okay, and I'm passing it in here. So I'm sending. Okay, it said that it has been deleted. Okay, so let's get back here. Okay, that is weird. That is a little weird. Let me look at what we have in the routes. So we have users. Okay, users here, and I'm passing in the ID of the user, and then I'm saying that, oh yeah, so over here I'm supposed to set this to delete. So delete user, yes, delete user, and I'll clean this. Oh, come on. So I clean this up, and then I come back to my postman, and then yeah, I would send, and then that has been deleted successfully. Then I would go into my database and test it. Okay, and now we can see that AMA has been deleted from the database as we expect. Okay, now that this has been able to reset, we are going to get just one user. Okay, so inside I'm going to go back into the user service, and then I am basically going to take, okay, let's just take the previous one here. Okay, I'm going to copy this really quick, and then I would take this whole part off here. Okay, then now inside here I can delete all of these parts, all of these parts here, and then I can delete this. I can delete these parts over here. Then I can see find by ID. Then I can return this user in case we find the user. So I can say get user. Okay, when they get user, we can get the user by just the ID, and then we return that user. So inside my controller here, I can come, and then I can come. I don't think this is necessary. I can take this off, but yeah, I can basically come and pick out this one because it's almost the same thing. I can pick out this one, and then I can duplicate it, and then what I'll do is I'll say get user controller. Then inside my get user controller, I'll say what get user, right? Get user, and then I can create a variable and store this user inside. Store this user inside the variable, and then I can log the user out like this, right? Okay, now that I've been able to do this, I'm going to go into the routes, user routes, yes, user routes here, and then I'm going to copy this, and then I'll just get, okay, then I'll say what get user controller. Okay, then we can go back and get a particular user, but I can't get the user. Let me just go to auth and then register a new user, that ama that we have there. Okay, so I just created ama here. Okay, then ama is now in the database. This is ama's id. I can just copy ama's id from here, or you can come to the database and then copy ama's id that we have here. So I can copy her id from here too. Then I'll come and create a new request here. Okay, I'm creating a new request. Let us save this request. Okay, so this is already a get request, and I can change the name to get user. Okay, get user. Then I set the thing to users. Then over here I would add her id. Okay, then I can simply make a get request, and then I'll see my ama in here with the message. Okay, so we have to change the message in here. So the message is has been fetched successfully. Okay, we have that, and then okay, this works. Okay, so we can finally perform the CRUD for our users, but we don't want just anybody to be able to access these things, right? So what we want to do is we can perform a quick check, right? We can perform a quick check. We can perform the check here or inside services, right? So what is that check? Let's do it here. So we have our if. We can say if if the request dot if the request dot body dot user id request dot body the user id is the same as request dot params dot id, right? Or request dot body dot sadmin. Okay, then we want to perform these actions, right? So I'm going to cut this and then put it here. Okay, very good. So but I don't want to just do it, right? So I can do a try catch block here, and then log the error first of all, and then also send out an error message, right? So I can say a rest.status of what's 500, and then I can send a JSON text, a JSON message, send a JSON message of you can only update your account. Okay, now that we have this set up, we can just copy this, or we can rather take, okay, let's just copy this part. Let's copy this part, then I'll just cut it and then paste it in here. Okay, then so what we are trying to do here is that we have one try catch block inside our if statement. We're going to check if the user id that you're passing through the body compares with the same user id inside the params, or if we pass in an admin property, right? So if we check through and then we realize that they are all the same, which is the same user is the one performing that request, then it can run this try catch block, right? And then we'll be able to update our account. So I can just copy this, I can just take this functionality, take this one too, and I can take this side too as well. I can take this side too as well, and then I can copy. Okay, I can copy. Now what I'll do is over here I'll place my first cursor here, then I'll hold alt like I did, and then I'll hold this side, then I'll just Control V to paste, right? Okay, so what happened was I have two tries here. I'll delete this try, and I have to delete this one too, this catch here. Delete, and I have to add one more. Okay, I think I messed a lot of things up here. It's a try catch block. This is another try catch. Okay, I'll undo whatever I did. I'll undo whatever I did here. Then I would rather just come and copy this line and drop it here. Right, and then I'll make sure I close it as well over here. Then I have my first try. So I had the first try here, and then I'll do the same for this part as well. I'll copy this. Okay, then it works. Then I can do the same thing for the last one as well. Do the same thing for the last one. Okay, so forget, we don't necessarily need those checks, right? Because like you can just get one user in general. So for the two of them will work. We can test it out really quickly before my body runs out. Okay, so I mean, now that we have this part set up, the if statements here, we want to test out. So I'm going to try to update a user here. So I'm going to try to update Amma. Okay, so if I open up my postman here, right, and so yeah, let's go to a get here, and then I'm going to send a get request. Then we can get Amma's value. Okay, so you can see that we have Amma here. Oh yeah, inside this get request you're getting the password. We need to take care of that. Okay, we need to take care of this password that we are getting. So over here I'm going to do that thing, that spread operator thing, and I'm going to create an object, and then I'm going to call the password inside the object. So I'm going to say password. Okay, then I'm going to take the rest of the data that is left, and I'm going to equate it. I'm going to equate that data to user dot slash doc. Okay, then inside here we're going to get just the data that we are receiving, right when we take out the password. Okay, now that we have that, okay, I'm going to go back into postman, and then over here I'm going to try to update Amma. Okay, so I'm opening up the update request section, and then inside here I'm going to pass in a user ID field, user ID. Okay, and then since we are performing certain checks, right, just not just anybody can pass in any just not anybody with a different user ID can update someone else's item like that. So I'm going to just do this, and I'll say this. I'll just so you see that we should get an error saying that you can only update your we have to set that up. You can only update your account. So this one is going to be you can only delete your account here. So we can it said what it has to okay, I'm gonna cancel. Okay, I am basically going to take out this section, or what am I think I'm going to say res. I'm going to say res that status or I can, no need to do all these things. I can just clear these parts. I can just clear these parts, or just take out this this and take this out, and just take this out too. Then I can clean this. Then I can say else. No, I can say else, so I can just select this and bring it here. Okay, and I think this should be it. So let us go back and then try to update. So we should receive a response. You can only update your account, right? So let's just apply the same principle to this side as well before my battery goes low. So we can just clear this section and clear this section and clear this section. Then over here we can write our else and then bring this part down here, right here, and then clear this section as well. Yes, then we should be safe. Should be safe. Okay, so we can also, so you can see that if we go back into Postman and then we go for AMS, if we go for AMS data, and we, so where's AMS ID? So this is AMS ID. If you copy and then we go to update, right? We go to update and then we change this. So I am American, and then we replace this with AMS ID. Oh no, replace with AMS ID. I need to get AMS actual ID here. So here, then update user. Then I can update this section too. Okay, then if I update the account, you should see that it should work. Okay, so you can see that AMS data has been updated. Okay, so we can receive all that information here. Thank you very much for watching this part. I appreciate you for getting to this end, and thankfully my laptop was still able to stay in control up to this section. Please like and subscribe, and don't miss the next part.